Hi there. Have you noticed that there are more and more ways to search for products and services online? You may have heard about Google's recently released AI mode. You may have seen their AI overviews, which have been at the top of searches for some time now. You've probably heard of AI search using tools like ChatGPT or Perplexity. And then there's still the traditional search using tools like Google, Bing, DuckDuckGo. So as small business owners, what does this all mean? And what can we do with our websites to have a better chance of being found in these various different ways? First of all, let's talk about the difference between Google's AI overviews and AI mode. Here I have an example of an AI overview. This is usually generated in response to informational type queries, so where you're not looking to buy something, but you're looking to learn about something. And they're put at the top of the traditional search results. And Google has created a summary for you by looking at a lot of different web content. It's put it all together, and a lot of people are just reading this and not clicking through to any of the websites that are mentioned, and they're getting all the information they need just by reading this overview. You can see on the right that Google does list the sources it looked at, so sources are available for this. What I'm showing here is AI mode. So this is fairly new. It was released first in the US several months ago, and then it has been rolled out across the world, not yet in Europe, but I'm in Canada and it appeared here just a few weeks ago. At the moment, in Google search results, the AI mode is a separate tab. So you can access it at the top here. Then you can interact with this in a similar way to how you might use ChatGPT. So you can ask follow-up questions. It's almost like having a conversation. And again, Google is going and looking at many sources online to find some answers for you, which it puts in a nice summary. And it again lists the different sources where it went to consult to find all this information. Then AI search using ChatGPT or Perplexity or other tools. These are the two main ones, and ChatGPT is the biggest by far at the moment. So again, you can have more of a conversational style interaction. You can ask long questions and you can ask follow-up questions. The results are often very personalized, so ChatGPT gets to know you quite well as you interact with it. It gets to know your values, what kind of thing you prefer, and it uses that to determine what sort of results to give you. And as you'll see on the right here, it also lists its sources, so you can find out where it went to get most of its information. Now, how can you get mentioned in AI overviews? Well, to be honest, it's pretty challenging to get listed in those overviews. And if you do get listed, you may not get clicks through to your website. People may just read the summaries and not go to any websites. But if you have your name mentioned there, it's going to build brand trust. Here are some tips to get mentioned in these AI overviews. Firstly, you want to structure your content really clearly, and this applies to AI mode and AI tools as well. So these are great points to use in general on your website going forward. You want to have clear, unambiguous headings. So don't use cute headings that could be misinterpreted. Remember, AI needs to look at them and understand really quickly what the following paragraphs are all about. Structure your content really clearly using things like bullet points, tables, lists, again, so that it's very quick to get a sense of what the content is about. It's also a good idea to answer questions directly under headings. If you have a heading, don't follow it with a lot of fluff, a lot of waffle. You want to get to the point fairly quickly to answer whatever question you're addressing. It's good to have short, self-contained paragraphs. AI does like to lift whole paragraphs to put in its summaries, so it's good if your paragraphs can stand alone and deal with one particular idea and answer it in one paragraph. What about AI mode? So this is very new. There's not as much research on this as there is on other topics. You could think of it as Google's answer to ChatGPT, and Google does seem to be promoting it quite heavily, and no doubt this is going to be the battle of the future, ChatGPT and Perplexity against tools like Google's AI mode. To be mentioned here, again, you want to be very clear in your messaging, and you need to spend some time thinking about what makes your business special. If AI mode is looking at your business and a competitor, why should it choose yours? If someone has asked a long, detailed question, do you have enough detail on your website to answer that question and to show that your values perhaps match the values of the person who's doing the searching? So think about what makes your business special and make sure this is well described on your website. You should also be aware that Google's AI mode offers agentic functions. This is where the AI might try to complete certain transactions on behalf of the person doing the searching, to do something like make a reservation for a dinner table or try to book a consultation with you. So is it really clear on your website how to book a consultation with you, where to find the button, and is everything working flawlessly technically in order to allow these agents to actually complete the transaction? Now, tools like ChatGPT and Perplexity, this is where I see the biggest opportunity for small businesses. This is where we have a chance of competing with the big guys. And here are some tips to get your business recommended in the answers provided by something like ChatGPT. First, you want to make sure that you have personalized content on your site, highlighting, highlighting your experience and your expertise. As you probably know, it's very easy now to churn out very generic, vanilla AI-generated content about anything and everything. But if you are explaining what's special about you, what you've done in your business, what you've seen in your business, how you are training to be better in your business, this is all going to help to get you mentioned in AI results. You want to have plenty of specific detail about your products or services. So really add, go beyond just the basics, like I offer this kind of service. Say, who are your ideal clients? What kind of tools do you use? How long does the service take? What's the process for booking the service? All of these kinds of details could be exactly what ChatGPT is looking for to answer a long, detailed query from someone. Thirdly, find out which review sites and which third-party directories tools like ChatGPT are looking at for your industry. So you can do some experimenting with ChatGPT and then look at where it's going to get its source material. And you might find that there are third-party directories specific to your industry. So find out if you can get your business listed on those sites. It's important to get reviews on many sites. A lot of us have Google Business Profiles set up, but be aware that you can also get reviews on sites like Yelp and Facebook. And again, check where ChatGPT is going to look to find reviews for your industry. When you ask people to write reviews for you, if you can get them to add specific details, that's gold. If you can tell them exactly what service they had and what they liked about it, or when you add replies to your reviews, you can put specific detail in there. You can say something like, we were very happy to replace your hot water tank on the weekend. Really give some detail, because AI tools are going to go and read all of those comments and replies to get a better sense of what you offer. And then lastly, but it shouldn't really be last because this is super important, you need to have strong technical SEO on your site. These AI tools are doing very fast real-time searches, and they need to be able to access your site, crawl your site, understand your site very fast. They are not going to wait around for slow sites. It's been shown that using structured data on your site makes it more easy for AI tools to understand them. And also make sure your important content is in plain text. If your important content relies on JavaScript to be rendered, it's not going to be seen by tools like ChatGPT. So where to start? What's most important? Well, do bear in mind that traditional Google search is still almost 90% of the search market. So if you only have time and resources to focus on something small, then stick to traditional Google search and get your basic SEO in good shape. Then I would focus on your technical SEO. Make sure your site is fast. Make sure all the basics are in place, no broken links, just all the fundamentals of technical SEO. I would also say now is the time to start gathering reviews. It can take time to get customers to leave you reviews, so start that process now. And then have a really good think about what is special about you and add that detail to your website and add lots of specifics. Think about your digital PR. Try to get mentioned widely on many different sites. So thanks for watching. That wraps up what I wanted to cover here about all the new AI tools and how we can get mentioned by them. I have a lot more detail about this in my blog post, which I've listed here. I will add a link in the comments as well. If you enjoyed this and found it useful, I would so appreciate it if you would like and subscribe. And if you feel like you need some help getting your SEO in good shape or figuring out what's special about you and making sure that that is carefully explained on your website, please get in touch. That's the kind of service I provide, and I offer free consultations to anyone who just wants to learn more about it. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this useful.